Well, I have a preemptive strike to one of the stories that you got with regards to maybe or maybe not head of Twitter.
Oh, yes.
If I were to ask you which of the Schultz brothers that you would think would get suspended from
I already
Twitter.
saw this.
Oh, damn it.
And it was for sure Alfred.
You would think that?
Yes.
I actually would. I was going to argue with you if you hadn't seen it, that you would say me, because I'm pretty passive. I'm boring on Twitter. I just fucking bitch about the Bulls, you know. But Alfred is still like my youngest brother. He's like a bit of an idealist, and he gets very angry. I'm like I'm post anger, man. And he's very staunch and strident and all that stuff. He's a good person, unlike me, but I could see how he could do something that might be misconstrued and get suspended. Like, that's the one that I would guess. And I was right. I think we have maybe we don't anymore. We still have the tweet in question. But basically, Alfred got suspended from Twitter. And I thought, yeah, we got it. Oh, we got that apology tweet. So you probably can't read this because you don't have your glasses ever. Alfred was going back and forth with John Lowerman, a guy that we grew up with. And, the best part is, okay, so this was Alfred's tweet, and it was, send $400 cash to 69 John Sucks Boulevard to Lowerman. Lowerman eats Shittsville, Illinois, then punch yourself in the fucking face. Now, I don't know what they have in as far as Twitter offensive security is concerned, where they would read that and think that that was a legit threat. But they did, and they suspended Alfred for a week. And, of course, I immediately started tweeting Twitter and Elon Musk, making fun of them, thinking to myself, well, now I'm going to get suspended. But we have a happy ending. Alfred's suspension went from a week to a day.
Okay.
He is back on there. But that's what they're monitoring over on Elon Musk's Twitter right there, people. Oh, he's such a badass. He was always the rebel in the family.
Well, here's the thing. What you need to do nowadays if you don't want to get suspended is put an LOL at the end. I really think if Alfred said, then punch yourself in the fucking face, LOL, he would not have been suspended because it would have clearly been a joke.
But people that would do real threats would just preface it with LOL then.
Yeah.
And
everyone should. Just everyone write LOL.
Real threats, and then they got to just go. But anyway, you're quite the free speech warrior there, Elon Musk. But also, look at this. Bobby, can we put that back up there again? I don't know if you could scroll up, but look at the advice that they give to the people that they're suspending. I don't know if I had it on my screen grab here. If we go up here, so, all right, they're suspending you, but they're also providing you with a safety center that has a list of resources that you can consult for a variety of reasons, including depression, loneliness, substance abuse, illness, relationship problems, and economic problems. You don't need a comma before the and, by the way, Twitter.
No, but you can do it.
You can, but
that comma's optional. I always put a comma before the last thing.
You shouldn't.
Because otherwise it's relationship problems and economic. Like, they go together, and I don't think they do.
Only for ignorant people like yourself.
Whatever.
You can find these resources here. So, see, they're suspending him, but they're also providing some help with that link right there.
But that's quite an assumption that someone is violating Twitter's rules because they're lonely or drunk.
Yeah.
Or suicidal.
It would never be a legit thought. They've obviously got an issue. And Alfred has all of those, by the way. Every single one. Checkbox. In fact, I think they should have suspended him for a month.
And if someone's really struggling, they shouldn't be suspended. That's just going to increase those feelings of depression.
Point. But again, happy ending, I guess.
Truthfully, the way Twitter should respond instead of suspending someone is with a message, who hurt you?
Oh, you like that one.
Why are you this way?
You like that one. Well, so there you go. That's how you do a segue, people. Little long, sure, but I noticed that this one over here had an Elon story. So there you go.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Why are you thinking
Right,
that?
I didn't make it.
I
don't know.
It.
So Elon Musk, God, over the past few days, just a lot going on. Most recently, he said he was considering getting rid of the ability to link other social medias
Yes.
on your page. It would be a policy update prohibiting content that contains links or usernames for rival platforms. So, like, our YouTube is linked on our Twitter. Other people will have their TikToks or Instagrams linked up, so it's easy to go to the other. And right before or right after he said that was going to happen, then he was like, okay, maybe not. We'll poll people before we do major changes. And then he put out a poll asking users late on Sunday if he should step down as head of Twitter, vowing to abide by the results of the poll. Voting ended with 57.5% choosing for him to leave.
I think he knew that was going to happen. He's looking for an excuse.
Truly. Well, 17.5 million people voted in the poll, meaning more than 10 million want to see Twitter no longer run by Musk. He didn't immediately comment on the poll's results, but earlier insisted that no one was lined up to replace him, saying no one wants the job who can actually keep Twitter alive.
That's accurate.
There is no successor. Be careful what you wish. You might just get it. But here is the thing. There are other people who might want the job.
You know, he would still be in charge. He just wouldn't be called CEO.
Sure.
So this is all bullshit.
Podcaster
He'd just be a puppet.
Lex Fridman offered to take the job. Musk warned you must like pain a lot, adding, you have to invest your life savings in Twitter, and it has been in the fast lane to bankruptcy since May. Still want the job? Fridman, who offered to run the site for free to focus on great engineering and increasing the amount of love in the world, wasn't the only one to show interest. Rapper Snoop Dogg polled his 20.8 million followers asking, should I run Twitter? 81% want him as new Twitter boss.
Okay.
Clear.
Who is the new Twitter boss?
Me as the new
that's
Twitter.
so much work.
Way too much work. And I don't understand it enough. God, I'm sick of billionaires being like, it's a tough business. Not everyone can do it. Or like, Twitter's going to go bankrupt. It's losing $40 million every day. I do not care to see how the sausage is made. I don't. And I think it is such a mistake as the CEO to tell people how poorly it's doing, because what I garner from that is if it does suck and the ship sinks, then Elon's like, not really my fault. You know, I bought this lemon of a boat.
Yeah, you're right.
That's going down. So there isn't any responsibility on him.
Oh,
He's not culpable. It was screwed up. He tried to save it, but it was past saving. And it's like, no, like I feel like a good CEO would not do that. I understand there's certain transparency you need with shareholders, fine. But like to just be tweeting that stuff out feels really dangerous, because like how do you want people to respond?
Although I will argue your point. I have gone on YouTube to see how actual sausage is made, and it is grotesque. It's not great, but you know what? I still want to eat sausage.
Oh my God. Give me fucking chorizo right now.
But before you see it made, I bet you'd still eat it.
I think I would.
Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of her mukbang.
It tastes so good. The only thing I don't want to see made, because I did see a video of it once already, the McDonald's chicken nuggets.
No. They're not chicken, right?
It is chicken.
They didn't used to be.
It's ground into such a pulpy kind of compound.
Actually, I'm glad you're telling me this, because I've been having a lot of McDonald's lately, and I can't do that.
What's your go-to McDonald's order?
If I'm drunk, I will wake up feeling horrible if I have an actual burger, so I'll just get 3 large fries.
Oh.
And then dip them, and then I wake up with stains all over my shirt.
Okay.
And also, I will get the chicken McNugget dipping sauces.
But no chicken.
No, I'll get the fries.
Just the fries.
They last longer. Because I want something, because I'm still drunk, and I want something that I can eat for a while.
Oh, I see.
You know? And the burger, 2 bites. You
Yeah.
know? And then I'm pissed off. But the fries, you do it right, and you never do when you're drunk.
Why don't you get a kid's cheeseburger? Because that's
not eat
like
that quick.
small. That's like 2 bites. Oh, you
I don't want. I want to prolong it. Yes. Yeah, I feel like you're quietly judging me.
You know what? I don't think I've ever had a Big Mac.
they're okay.
It's just, why would I want an extra piece of bread? Like, I get a quarter
Yeah.
pounder.
I agree.
I'd rather, right?
I remember the McDLT. That was a failure.
Anyways.
The hot stays hot. The cool stays cool. Remember? On different sides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you remember that?
No, we've shown video.
Oh, we
of
saw
it
the
on
video.
here.
Oh, yeah. The song is still in my head.
But back to Elon, I don't even think I follow him, so I didn't even see this poll. Am I the problem?
I didn't. I know I didn't follow him because when I tweeted him after Alfred got suspended, I had to I
Oh.
saw that I didn't follow him, and immediately I'm like, well, okay. Look, if I am gone from Twitter, who gives a shit, really? But I'm like immediately, I'm like, yeah, well, now I'm gone too. You know, I mean, because he's
Yeah.
going after all these journalists that they say doxed him, a term that I had just learned through Elon Musk. 'Cause
Yeah.
even though it's available online, anyone can do it. They posted where he was flying to, and he used that as a way to get rid of these journalists. Again, even though all free speech goes per him, and I figured he'd somehow get me. But luckily, I am too inconsequential for him to care.
But also with that whole the blue checkmark thing.
And they went back and forth on that.
So if I already have the blue check mark,
So do I.
am I gonna have to now start paying for it, or am I like grandfathered in?
That's a good question. I don't know. I know they got rid of the pay thing, and then they are gonna think about.
It's because
doing it.
there is no fucking way.
Oh, no
I'm
fucking
paying.
way.
Get
No.
rid of my blue check mark. Like I do
Are you
not
saying
care.
you're cheap?
Oh, I'm very cheap.
Let's be sarcastic.
I don't know. It's just like paying. It's paying for popularity.
Oh God, yeah,
weird.
yeah. It's well, that's the way I always looked at friends. Paying to have friends might not be a popular thought, and I'm sure some frets are great, but I never needed to do it.
Oh, frats.
Also,
I didn't
what'd you
know
think I
what you
said?
were saying. Paying for friends, which is a frat.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, some people still. I don't want to.
I like where
Anyone's
this is
watching
going.
who was in a frat. I
had many a friend at Emerson
Make
that was
fun
in
of
a
you.
frat. They weren't that cool at Emerson. 'Cause
there are
they were
some,
very
like-
anti-establishment.
alumni, like when you're a part of a fraternity, like
Oh yeah.
you can stay a part of it.
Yeah.
Like my one
That's why
friend.
people do it.
My one friend was in a frat. Where did he go? GW or something? And he was a part of this alumni association of his frat, and he was like vice president. Like they
Well, it's
still
networking.
But then he was like, I gotta leave. Like I can't do this anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I guess if
The
you
allure,
have,
like-
if you have real jobs,
Right.
that's when it can come into handy. If you're
I don't-
applying for a job, it's like, you're a Sigma Chi? Me too. Then it's helpful, but
I could be wrong on this, but I don't think it is as helpful as it used to be. I think that culture has sort of dissipated a little bit. But yeah, back in the day, if you didn't think that your resume was that great,
Yeah.
but you had it on the inside tip that the guy that was going to be interviewing you was in your frat, you put that front and center in your resume, and it's gonna boost you. Like that's that kind of agreement that they all have, which it's like Masons. Masons, all Masons are. They don't run the world or anything like that, but all they are is a frat for 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's essentially what it is. But, you know, you see another Mason, you might hire them, all that stuff, and that's where you get your conspiracy theories. You know what isn't a conspiracy theory?
ooh, what?
Heath Ledger being alive.
That's a fact?
I'm sorry, Heath Ledger being dead.
Oh.
That's the fact part. I thought we could repurpose postmortem and use it for this story. But I also have a postmortem with regards to a story we already discussed. We'll use it for both. Oh, and this involves someone in our green room. Now, the original postmortem graphic had Gino pouring one out for his dead parents. But now he is just lamenting the loss, not really, of what this show used to be called for a couple months.
He looks
Wanted
so
back
happy to
talk
be
last.
there. Okay, wait, there's the old one.
Oh, nice, guys. Gino's parents, LOL. So good. God damn.
Oh, yeah, remember we were on at 10:30?
Finally. There he is. Oh, so sad. Or maybe dead. We don't know. Just tremendous. Thank you, as always. Fife-End is a Christmas gift that happens every day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is... All right, this goes back to a conversation we've had a lot. going back to like the Queen movie. The father, okay, so Michelle Williams is already doing a preemptive strike on anything that might resemble a Hollywood director, and we don't know if this is going to happen, doing Heath Ledger's life story.
Yeah.
The father, Kim Ledger, has been more accepting of the fascination with his late son, as poor parents are wont to do. Perth-based Kim said he has no doubt someone will one day do a biopic about his son's life and tragic overdose when the timing is right, except he said it in Australian. I'm not sure when that will be. Sources say it will, if the project does get greenlit, so apparently there's a script, Michelle's determined on making sure her role goes to Busy Phillips. Let that one.
Best friend.
Yes. But
They are wildly different.
you said it, I didn't.
Height-wise, like, are you kidding me?
I'm not arguing. And the project focuses on her and Heath's love story and Matilda's happy childhood. Yeah, because people will watch that. Guys, you know what? It's going to really focus not on Heath's demons, but on his wonderful marriage and beautiful baby. In fact, they won't even talk about when they split. She is very protective and would want control over Heath's story, and she won't budge on things. For example, Cassie Busy. It pays to have A-list friends, people. Heath died in a New York City apartment, thanks to one of the Olsons.
Stop it.
I added that part. Apartment on January 22nd, 2008, after accidentally overdosing on medications that also gave him, following months of physical and mental exhaustion. Reportedly a drug user on and off for years. Aren't we all? Things came to a head when he was juggling too many films, including his role in The Dark Knight, one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. I'm editorializing a lot here. On very little sleep, and he started relying on various cocktails of prescription drugs, blah, blah, blah. And that is it. You're the actress in the house, allegedly. Give me your thoughts here.
I was on a plane and I saw a Heath Ledger documentary. Isn't there already one out?
No, this is going to be a biopic.
Oh.
This is good. They're going to cast an actor, I'm assuming an unknown, that looks, I don't know how you could be as gorgeous as Heath, but looks like we are talking a biopic. I saw that documentary. It was very heartbreaking.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, do we want a biopic, right?
No.
The thing that people love about Heath Ledger is Heath Ledger. It's like looking at him, his beautiful hair, his striking eyes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you wait, he's not your type. You don't like blondes.
I don't, but there was a moment in 10 Things I Hate About You that I was like, I get it.
Dark hair.
Oh, he does have darker hair there. Yeah, no, you're right. And the documentary I saw was so captivating.
Yeah.
And it also makes you realize that, like, people who are gonna die early, they all similarly have an interest in documenting their lives. It's wild. It's like right before tragedy strikes, they're like, I'm gonna take this camera and film everything.
Yeah, you're right.
But I
didn't
didn't get to finish it. I started it on a plane ride, and then the plane landed.
Oh, I watched it.
And I had to leave. But I remember thinking, like, oh, wow. It's striking. But again, it's because you're watching actual footage. So to watch actors cast as him and Michelle and family, I don't know. I don't know if it will do as well.
Well, two things on it, I would say. The first one, and this just came to mind because it was so stupid, although I feel bad because apparently Jack Nicholson is struggling with possibly dementia right now. But right when he died, Jack Nicholson, apropos of nothing, just tells the media, I warned him, meaning that the Joker role so overtakes you. And Jack Nicholson played Jack Nicholson as the Joker, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. First of all, A, he didn't warn him of anything. And B, by every account, he, A, was not a method actor, I know that makes you sad because I know you love method actors. Mm-hmm. He loved, just Joker was his favorite role. He was, like, he wouldn't be the Joker off camera, that kind of shit. Had a blast with it. Like, that's a complete lie. And it was, just mixing too many drugs, but the Joker did not kill him. And that I still see that shit on the internet, and it's ridiculous. But then the other thing, too, is that it goes back to a long time ago when I was telling you that I refused to watch the Queen movie. And one of the reasons was that it was PG-13. You don't do a Freddie Mercury movie Freddie Mercury, who used to do bowls of cocaine on a midget's head at parties, strap the midget bowl on the midget's head, and then they would walk by, and guests would be like, "Oh, sorry, love, just 1 second here." And well, he's doing. We represent the Lullaby League, and you're doing the coke and all that. And then the other thing was that it was fully approved and produced by the band. If you are going to do a pick like that for Queen, and they had to do it because that's the only way they could get the music, you want the warts and all thing. So I'll give you a good example with the Queen one.
You want the warts and all.
Everyone does.
You
Let me ask you this. Do you want to watch a movie that's controlled by Michelle Williams, where the whole movie will be about Heath Ledger's love for his wife?
Sure. It's one version of the story. Yeah. I'll watch it. But to you,
I want the truth.
To you, as a bitch who likes Lifetime and Hallmark, sounds great.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's why these things are success. Because the Queen one was. And I'll get one, like, you know how, and I still haven't seen the movie, but I know this because I read it. In the movie, they split up, or they're having an issue, right? Mm-hmm. And then they get back together for Live Aid. You know what they didn't put in was that they played Sun City. Okay, there's this big thing in the 80s where there was still apartheid in South Africa, and Sun City was their big, like, Las Vegas city.
Okay.
And Queen, even though all these bands were saying, we're not going to play Sun City, they did a song about it, Queen ignored it, and they went and they were ostracized by the music industry as a result, because they played in apartheid South Africa. And Live Aid was sort of the way they got back into the good graces of the music industry. And also people that were, against apartheid. Shut up, Gino. And so, yeah. Was that in the movie?
No, it would have made it too long.
It would have made it interesting. I should have been a lawyer. I would never watch a movie that Michelle Williams controlled. And I'm sure, I don't know how much of a control she's going to have. It's not like she's got the rights to his songs, but I would totally watch. I mean, I'm more interested in the documentary version, of course, of Heath Ledger. Mm-hmm. How sad that we lost that talent. But yeah. If it was done right, man, I'd watch the fuck out of that movie. It'd have to be an unknown. You couldn't have an actor known that was playing him.
Well, no, but you would have to, right? If you want to sell tickets.
Everyone else is known, but you cast an unknown with him,
Maybe. I don't know. But speaking of celebrities suffering exhaustion, roles really kind of affecting their lives, I have a Jonah Hill, Selena Gomez story.
Oh, I like this one. Although, still give her a bad segue, though.
By the way.
It was really wordy.
Oh, whatever.
Thanks, guys.
Sorry for all these celebrity stories. We thought we were having.
I know. We thought we had
TMZ person. After I did all this fucking searching.
Now you're in my court.
So who wrote this? Where did this? This is in. It's a New Yorker article.
Look
I'm not
at
sure
you.
Who wrote it, but Jonah Hill, Selena Gomez, and the rise of celebrity vulnerability.
Ugh.
Today's young stars place their mental health front and center in a way that feels new. In the old days, circa 2012 maybe, we would call it exhaustion. Exhaustion was the nebulous catch-all term used to describe the distress incurred by celebrities who had been on tour for too long, who had been hounded too aggressively by paparazzi, who had jumped from project to project with no rest, or who had indulged too much.
Yeah, that was
Today's celebrities, though, do not suffer from exhaustion so much as grapple painstakingly and publicly with their own mental health. And these periods of grappling no longer threaten to derail the art. The process of caring for one's mental health is the art. So there's two films, Stutz, which is Jonah Hill's film.
Used to watch it. It's on Netflix.
And My Mind and Me, Selena Gomez's film, are two modern, ultra meta iterations. Just at the description of ultra meta, I'm a little checked out.
Too much.
Ultra meta iterations on the celebrity documentary, primed for a streaming audience, tailored to a moment in which public vulnerability is celebrated. Neither has a traditional redemption arc. Instead, they speak to the hazy, nonlinear nature of psychological turmoil and well-being.
Yep.
So what I didn't know about Jonah Hill's movie is that it is about his therapist.
Yes. oh, look at the trailer on Netflix. You're gonna throw something to the screen.
Really?
Oh,
Is
it's
it so?
oh yeah.
So Jonah Hill said, I've decided to make this because I want to present your tools, meaning his therapist Stutz's tools, in a way that allows people to access them and use them to make their own life better, and do it in a way that also honors the life of somebody that I deeply care about and respect.
Translation: I want free sessions.
So Jonah Hill basically goes over his therapist's sort of life and coming into the practice, and then goes over sort of his therapist's tools, which, like, he's not a typical therapist where it's like you have to figure out the answers for yourself. This guy is like, here's what you do to, like, improve your life.
Oh, he's not a good therapist.
Yes, this had to have been the therapist's idea the whole time.
Absolutely.
Smart. Good for him.
It's what they do.
I appreciate a good con.
Right?
There was somebody who said if you don't like see significant progress in 2 weeks, like going to a therapist, find a new therapist, because like you should be there for 6 weeks at most. Otherwise, it just
Funny.
becomes another crutch you're leaning on.
Yeah.
Like
I
it
like
becomes
that.
another addiction.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, right? It's like you should learn tools and then be able to implement it yourself without being coddled. But in a real, what's the word, ultra meta moment, again, Hill decided to put his mental health first instead of marketing this film.
Yes.
He famously said that he would not do any press because it felt like the tools he learned, the way to protect himself, this would do the opposite. This would cause him more stress.
Fuck you.
Then in Selena Gomez's documentary, I've heard some really like mixed things about this.
Watch it.
It's interesting. They use like black and white writing over like images of her, I don't know, in a tub.
Wait, not stick figures? See, I like the stick figures
Yeah,
and
I
studs.
know you do. You like
Yeah.
stick figures.
Nice. I can draw those.
But in Selena Gomez's, the pop star agonizes over the demands of live performance, visiting her tiny hometown in Texas, drafting a public announcement of her bipolar diagnosis. They go over her issue with her like kidney transplant or whatever.
All right, well, now I feel bad. I didn't see that
Yep.
part.
But she then goes on, she's doing press and she gets infuriated by insipid questions asked during a press run for her 2020 record
You
Rare.
know how much those journalists are getting paid to have to suffer through you, Selena?
She says it feels like such a waste of time.
Go fuck yourself. They're there to promote your movie, honey. I mean, but I'm sorry about the liver thing.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because I don't know what it's like to be them, but I have a feeling if I had tons and tons of money,
Yes.
that softens the blow. That, sure, there's shit you don't want to do, but right now, there's shit I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I have to do it. And that doesn't change. But what should change is your perspective on it. You should be able to say, it doesn't matter. This is frivolous, so why is it getting me so upset?
Well, exactly. I think about that all the fucking time. And I referenced my favorite philosopher on the show with you before. Again, you're not as well read as I am, but Burt Reynolds, ancient
I
Greek
thought you were going to say
philosopher.
Budweiser.
Beer. Even I know that. But Burt Reynolds would always used to say, I've been miserable and broke, and I've been miserable and rich, and the latter is preferable. Like, I'm done with miserable and poor.
Yeah.
Let's see what miserable and rich is like. I think I can handle it.
And you are still having your art made, right? You had an idea, you have creative control over this project, and there are thousands upon thousands of artists who cannot say the same.
Yeah.
You get to control this narrative, other people don't have that opportunity, and it's an opportunity. I don't know. Is tone deaf the right word? Maybe?
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't know why, but I was watching a good amount of TMZ yesterday because I thought.
I'm so sorry.
But they were talking about, to your point, the huge backlash that the Harry and Meghan thing has had.
Yes.
More so across the pond than over here, but here too. And it has not gone the way that they've wanted it to for exactly what you're saying. It's like there is a lot of woe is me in it. and there's probably a lot that maybe is based on fact, but all anyone is seeing is these unbelievably entitled, I just want to be alone people doing a documentary about themselves, telling you that they just
Yeah.
want to be alone. And yeah, it's not gone the way they wanted it to go.
Well,